If the I Ching wanted to give straightforward advice, it could have done so. Instead, it speaks through mountains, rivers, thunder, wind, fire, and earth. Why? Why would a book concerned with human decisions spend so much time describing nature? If you've watched my video, What the I Ching is for, discernment, not prediction, then you already know the I Ching is not primarily trying to forecast the future. Its purpose is to cultivate discernment. But that raises another question. Why does discernment require imagery? The answer begins with the way human beings learn. Facts can be memorized. Rules can be followed. Images do something different. Images invite observation. When the I Ching presents a mountain, it is not asking us to think about geology. When it presents water, it is not teaching hydrology. These images point beyond themselves, toward principles that operate throughout life. The ancient authors understood that many of the challenges we face are not entirely unique. Human beings may change their clothing, technology, and circumstances, but the underlying patterns of life remain surprisingly consistent. We all encounter resistance. We all experience uncertainty. We all face moments that require patience, courage, restraint, or adaptability. Rather than providing instructions for every possible situation, the I Ching offers images that help us recognize patterns. A mountain becomes a symbol of stillness. Water becomes a symbol of adaptation. Thunder becomes a symbol of movement. Earth becomes a symbol of receptivity. The image creates a bridge between the outer world and the inner world. This approach requires participation from the reader. The I Ching does not simply tell us what to think. It asks us to observe, reflect, and discover. That is why the text has endured for thousands of years. It is not handing us answers. It is training us to see. And once we begin to see the principles beneath the images, we begin to understand why nature became the language of the I Ching. In an earlier video, we explored the 8 trigrams that form the foundation of the I Ching: heaven, earth, thunder, wind, water, fire, mountain, and lake. Today, I want to take that idea a step further. This is not about memorizing what each trigram means. It is about understanding why these particular images were chosen in the first place. The ancient commentators were careful observers of nature. They noticed that certain qualities appeared consistently. Water adapts to obstacles without abandoning its course. Mountains remain steady through changing conditions. Wind influences gradually but persistently. Thunder initiates movement. Fire illuminates what was hidden. Earth receives and supports. Heaven generates and creates. Lake gathers and connects. These observations became symbolic language. The goal was never to claim that life is literally a mountain or a river. The goal was to recognize that the same principles operating in nature also appear in human experience. Consider water. When water encounters an obstacle, it does not argue with reality. It adapts. It flows around, over, or through whatever stands in its way. How often do we encounter situations where adaptability would serve us better than resistance? Or consider the mountain. A mountain does not react to every passing storm. It remains grounded in its nature. How often do we benefit from remaining steady when circumstances become chaotic? The image becomes a mirror. It reflects a principle we can apply to our own lives. This is why the Image Commentaries became such an important part of the I Ching tradition. They helped readers move beyond prediction and into understanding. The images are not decorative. They are not poetic embellishments. They are teaching tools. Each image points toward a principle. Each principle points toward a way of living. And over time, those principles help cultivate the discernment the I Ching is designed to develop. By now, we have explored why the I Ching speaks through images and how those images point toward enduring principles. But there is one more question worth asking. Why not simply state those principles directly? Why not say, be adaptable? Why not say, be patient? Why not say, remain steady? The answer may be that understanding and experience are not the same thing. Most of us already know we should be patient. Most of us already know we should adapt when circumstances change. Most of us already know we should remain grounded when life becomes uncertain. Yet knowing these things is not always enough. The image reaches us differently. When the I Ching presents water flowing through a canyon, we do not merely hear about adaptability, we witness it. When it presents a mountain standing through changing seasons, we do not merely hear about stability, we feel it. The image bypasses argument. It speaks directly to observation. This is why the image commentaries became such an important part of the tradition. The ancient sages understood that wisdom is often easier to recognize than to define. Rather than explaining life through abstract concepts, they pointed toward patterns that could be observed everywhere. A river does not force its way forward. A mountain does not rush to become something else. The wind does not change the landscape in a single moment. Each reveals a principle through its nature. The Tao Te Ching approaches wisdom in much the same way. Again and again, it points toward water, valleys, seasons, and the natural world. Not because nature is separate from us, because we are part of it. The sages looked at nature and saw a mirror. They saw the same patterns unfolding in rivers and relationships, in mountains and character, in changing seasons and human lives. Perhaps that is why the images of the I Ching continue to resonate after thousands of years. The world has changed. Human nature has not. We still struggle with uncertainty. We still wrestle with timing. We still seek clarity when the path ahead is unclear. The images remain relevant because the principles remain relevant. The next time you encounter a mountain, a lake, thunder, or wind in the I Ching, pause before asking what it predicts. Ask what it reveals. Ask what quality is being reflected. Ask what pattern is being shown. Because the image is not there to give you an answer. It is there to help you see. And perhaps that is the deepest purpose of the I Ching itself. Not to tell us what to think, not to tell us what will happen, but to teach us how to see.